Technical problems can always be overcome. Accounting, contracting, these kind of problems can always be overcome. And that's because, ultimately, they are what are called tame or perhaps messy problems. They're tame and messy complexity. People, on the other hand, are wicked. And this is not an existential statement. When you're talking about complexity, you could group them into these three categories. Tame complexity is a single-order system. It's like my faucet, and not an electronic faucet, but a simple knob with a faucet. If something breaks, you can trace directly back to what is broken. You can fix it. If you can't fix it, you can hire a SME, a subject matter expert, a plumber to come in who can diagnose the problem. There's a single problem that can be diagnosed. Fix it, problem solved. Messy problems, on the other hand, are a second-order level of complexity, right? You've got interrelationships between systems. When you're building a fighter jet, for example, you've got the airframe, you've got the avionics, you've got the hardware, the software, the user interfaces, everything that goes into that. And all of these systems intermesh with each other. When you introduce one element into one system, it affects the other system, etc. But ultimately, if you get the right group of SMEs, of subject matter experts, into a room, you can work that problem down into a defined group of solution sets. And if you can't find one solution set, all the solution sets at least will have the characteristic that if you're optimizing a particular variable, let's say cost or schedule or technical performance, you will then be able to pick one of those solution sets to apply to your problem. So this means that your decision making, your decision analysis is fairly rudimentary. Not from the standpoint that these aren't hard problems, right? But we have mathematical models and tools that once we whittle it down and we want to optimize for variable x, we can solve for that variable and make the choice. Wicked problems, on the other hand, are problems that have no defined solution set. And if there are any solution sets, you cannot necessarily optimize for variable x and have that solution solve the problem. That's the realm of human beings. Because when you talk about human beings, you're talking about the individual decision makers, information processors, however kind of cold and mechanical we want to make it, but ultimately you're talking about individuals who have their own worldviews, their own orientations, their own backgrounds, their own professional histories, and their own creativity and energies that they want to engage in and put into a project. Or maybe they're putting it in somewhere else. But all of these things as individuals mean that we don't have a consistent, let's say, mechanical or even playing field to work with. And that's a great thing, because ultimately, it's that creativity, that wickedness and inconsistency, which is the source of creativity and innovation on our projects and our programs. So to deal with the wickedness of human beings, and to deal with it, I don't mean in the sense of managing, harnessing, and constraining it. I mean to unleash that force, to unleash the innovative capacity that our teams, that we ourselves have. Communication is an incredibly powerful tool. And now that tool is at our disposal.